Hi, I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from yourblackworld.net. I am in Tulsa, Oklahoma, the home of Black Wall Street. Just such a beautiful, historic community here. I love this visit, this trip. And I was talking to a professor the other day about Black Wall Street, and he explained everything. His name is Marshall, Dr. Marshall. I can't remember his first name right now. I apologize for that. And, before I spoke with the professor about Black Wall Street and how it really went down, because as you know, Black history was kind of rewritten for us, and we have to actually go back and rewrite the rewrite, so to speak, meaning we have to go back and find the truth about what happened with our ancestors as opposed to allowing other people to tell us a bunch of lies. It's funny that he told me that story because right before I got here, I was talking to somebody about the Jackie Robinson movie. I think it's called 42. And they showed it at the White House, and everyone was so emotional after watching it. And I told my friend, I said, I really don't think I'm gonna go see this movie. And I said, but it looks good. It looks really good. There's a lot of action, and I saw the trailer, and I was really impressed with the trailer. And I have a lot of respect for what Jackie Robinson, what he accomplished. I think it's great, but really there's a huge sadness that comes over me when I think about Jackie Robinson and integration as a whole, the integration in sports and everything else, because I think about at that time how we had the Negro Leagues, and the Negro Leagues were thriving. We had some of the very best talent in the world. Businesses were linked to the Negro Leagues. You had employees that had jobs with the Negro Leagues. And what we did was we allowed white supremacy to convince us to allow ourselves to be plucked. And by being plucked, that means, having our best talent kind of taken away from us and taken over to Major League Baseball and kind of leaving the Negro Leagues to die. Kind of like what's happening with HBCUs right now, where black athletes are earning billions of dollars for predominantly white universities, and HBCUs kind of get the athletes that the white universities don't want. So I think it's kind of interesting when you talk about building a community. You really have to go back to the concept of economic sovereignty, if you will, and realize that some parts of integration were just not good for us. It doesn't mean integration as a concept is a bad thing. Integration is a partnership, like a marriage. And you can imagine a marriage can have a lot of terms to it. You can have a marriage where one partner dominates the other, or you can have a marriage that's equal, or whatever the case may be. So in our integration in the United States, I would say that economically the United States were kind of brought into a bad marriage where our other partner, meaning white America, pretty much dictated the rules. They said, look, we want you to move out of your house and move into ours. We want you to sell all your property and live off of our stuff. We want you to give up your businesses and come work for our businesses. And as a result, we become heavily dependent on the other party. No different from the way a woman or a man might feel if they sell all their assets, give up their business, give up their career, and give up everything in order to go and live with somebody who promises to take care of them. And you have to realize that when you're giving up that ownership, that equity, that control that you had, you are giving power over to the other party. So I think that people should understand that the idea of integration should be reconsidered. It doesn't mean that we can do reverse integration. I'm not naive about that. I think that'd be kind of silly to think that we can literally undo what's happened over the last 60, 70 years. In fact, that's not even necessary. I think trade is a very important part of economic development. So working with white America and the other ethnicities in this country is a very important part of becoming who we are meant to be economically. But I think we have to go back to the idea of ownership, the idea of protecting our economic strength, really circling the wagons in a Black Wall Street kind of way, where we are committed to supporting black businesses, where we are committed to contributing to black institutions. We commit ourselves to ownership of black business, even if you're not making as much money as you could by going to work for the shiniest big corporation that offers you a job. There's still a lot of power and pride in ownership. You cannot underestimate the value of that pride. You cannot underestimate the fact that your institution or your business, it's a seed. It's a seed for the next generation. So you might not be making as much money as you could by working for a corporation, but you have something to give to your children, and your children may be able to turn that into what you want it to be. So my point is that we have to really get back to these ideas if we really want to have economic success in this country. We see the black unemployment rates out of control. White folks will never give us jobs as quickly as they will give those jobs to other white folks. That's just a fact. We have to really reconsider what integration means to us and how to integrate on appropriate and equal terms. Again, it doesn't mean you leave the marriage, but it does mean you renegotiate the terms of that marriage, even if it means a little bit of separation. So that's all I want to say. I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from yourblackworld.com. Take care, God bless, and I'm gone. Peace.